All right, well, welcome back to the P18 podcast, everybody. Today, our guests are Miss Christina Flack and Miss Rylee Dunham. Both of them are proud members of the English department here at Perry High School. Christina and Rylee, we appreciate you giving some time to us today and sitting down with us and answering some questions. Always interesting to hear what the answers are around here. So, first time we've had two people at the same time going back and forth, so I'm going to throw the question out to you. And then, if both of you have things to say about each one, that would be fantastic before we move on. Okay? All right, question number one. Maybe we'll start with Rylee here. Can you share a little bit about your journey and how you came to be a part of Perry High School?
Yeah. So, I've always lived in the Gilbert area. I graduated from Campo Verde in 2019. Go Yotes. I know. I know, go Yotes still. So I always kind of grew up in the area. I went to Gilbert public schools, all of elementary and everything. And then I went to NAU when I graduated high school. Okay. Got my degree in secondary education English. And then I actually student taught at Basha High down the street. And I loved it. I subbed for a year. I subbed a little bit at Perry even. And then, I applied, I interviewed, and I actually loved my interview. That was kind of drew me in even more. I had a great interview. Not just like I did great. I mean, I thought it was like, when you're talking to someone, you're like, oh, I have a connection here right now. Like I'm like feeling fun. It. Yeah.
He made it feel comfortable.
Yeah. And I just went on in my interview. I felt like I was like just in a chair somewhere. I was like, this is, it's a comfortable, you want to be comfortable in your interview and feel out the place. It's good to feel the place. So that's kind of how I came to Perry. That's kind of my journey here. But I remember even in high school, going to a high school down the street from Perry, everyone was like, knew that Perry was kind of like a big dog on the street. They were always good at athletics. Everyone that I knew that went to Perry was always like a solid person. So I was definitely excited when I got an interview at Perry.
And this is your first year teaching, correct?
This is.
Right.
This is my first year teaching.
We're gonna archive this one, folks. And we'll look back in 10 years and we'll see how Rylee is, right?
Yeah. We'll see how I age. Is that what you mean?
Oh, no. No. We would never say that earlier. Christina, how about you?
Well, contrary to that, this is my 25th year teaching, and I started at Higley High School, and then I have been at ASU Prep Charter School for the last 10 years, and I knew I needed to get back into a fun public school with fun atmosphere, sports, and all of the exciting things that come with being in a big high school. And I was so thankful when the Perry interview came about. And I actually have a lot of Higley High friends who teach here, and work here, so makes it really fun.
We do attract a lot of teachers coming from different districts for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, again, welcome to both of you. Happy that you're here for us.
Thank you. I feel like I left out.
Well, what part of your job, Christina, would people be surprised if they knew about?
That I actually have fun with the kids. They are fantastic. Sometimes people think that teachers don't have fun. We're mean all the time. We have to give tests and give the lessons. But no, we have a great time. And it is fun because I have a lot of athletes here at school, and I get to know them. I get to engage with them. We have conversations about their life and how they are, and we learn. It is fantastic.
Rylee, how about you?
I feel like people would be surprised kind of on the same thing. Like, I have a lot of fun at work. Some days I'm exhausted, and some class periods I'm like, oh my goodness, this is, taking a lot out of me. But at the end of the day, I'm like, this was a fun day. I also think, kind of going off that, is I learn a lot at work. I learn a lot about the students, about interactions. And I think it's probably the most fun part would be that I'm like, when I learn more about my students, building those connections. I think people would be kind of surprised. They do have like a different perception of teaching, but it's fun. That's why, that's part of the reason why we do this job, because it's a fun one.
All right, next question. We take a little bit of a different turn here for a minute, okay? So, Rylee, we'll start with you on this one. If you could have dinner with any pop culture figure, past or present, who would it be and why?
There's actually a few people that I think would come to mind. I feel like if it was more recent, maybe I'd like to have dinner with like Taylor Swift. I don't know if we'd have some stuff to talk about, but or like the band of Fleetwood Mac. I feel like I really like that time period. I think it's so fun, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I think that's kind of a fun time period, and they're just legends of that time. Yeah, I think those two, maybe I would.
So you're in the music area.
I'm in the music area. Yeah, I would say so.
Christina, how about you?
Okay, I'm old, but I would love to have dinner with Tom Hanks. He's my absolute favorite 100% actor. He can go from Woody in kids' movies to Santa Claus in kids' to being in the war in the Marines to chick flicks. And I love all his movies. And he's funny. He seems like he'd be fun. So I would love to have dinner with him.
All right. So do you have a favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Yeah, but I'm a dork. Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless.
I'm a total girl.
In Seattle. Okay. Sleepless in Seattle. And if you, favorite song, Taylor Swift, Fleetwood Mac, is there one that you go to?
Gypsy.
Fleetwood Mac. Gypsy. Right.
Fleetwood Mac, Gypsy. That's the case you're wondering.
All right. Question 5 now. Get back to theory here for just a couple minutes. So Christina, we'll start with you on this one. What do you wish that more people understood about Perry High School?
What I wish more people would understand about Perry High is that it is a fantastic school to be at. There are so many opportunities here. And I came from ASU Prep Charter School. We had only maybe 2 sports, didn't have assemblies, we didn't have school camaraderie, and definitely did not have electives like we do here with culinary, this awesome studio that we're in right now for filming, and all of the other choices kids can take here. And I think that will be overrun with students if our public knew about that.
I wish that more people understood just how intentional the school is. I feel like you wouldn't think this like from an outsider perspective, but nothing is on accident. I mean, maybe there's some accidents that happen, right? But I feel like it's very intentional. Everything is planned, dialed in. Like from the teacher perspective, I feel like, my curriculum is well thought out. The lessons that are shared are well thought out. The meetings that I go to are very intentional. And I feel like all of that trickles down to the students. The student body, the things that teachers and admin and faculty does for the students is all for the better of the students. It's not a one-man show either. And I don't know, I tell everybody whenever, I feel like I lucked out with this job.
Good. That's what we want. That's what we want you to be at all the time. Never forget that. All right. So last question, Christina, we all have choices about where we can work. What makes Perry the place for you?
Well, as I said before, this school is amazing. Admin is so supportive, and teachers, our department is so supportive. It is amazing to be here. And I have friends from Rylee High. I knew that it was a great place to work at and that I would be welcomed. And it is just an overall fantastic place to be. And I looked out as well.
Perry, just being at first year, I'm a first year teacher, so there's obviously some obstacles that come organically, right? There's some kinks I have to work out. But for the most part, I think it's because of the support of other teachers and my department and other departments and the people in my hall that I don't really always feel like a first year teacher. I feel very confident in what I'm doing. I have so much support. I feel like it helps everything down. And I know, and I've told this to other teachers. I've been talking about it, and it's like all the trickle down. We always do what's best for students at the end of the day. And I think that kind of having that motto and that headspace helps me be my best self in the classroom, at least I would say.
Fantastic. Well, Christina and Rylee, again, we appreciate you taking some time to be with us today on the P18 podcast.
Thank you.
Great.